I'm Cat Oriel with Forbes Breaking News. Today I'm here with Rep. Gabe Vasquez of New Mexico. Congressman, so great to see you again.
Hey, Kat, it's great to see you too. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. So I know we did speak about 4 months ago, but I always like to set the stage around these conversations because not everyone lives in a border state or a border district. So can you talk to me about what are the on the ground realities of the people in your district due to the large migrant flow?
Thank you. Well, I do represent the second district in New Mexico, and it's been traditionally a very proud district in terms of its immigrant roots. We are, the district that helped power the Bracero program under, some specific needs that we had in this country for agricultural production. We also have three ports of entry across 180 miles of the U.S.-Mexico border, and we're, just a border community that has binational ties to communities like San Jeronimo, Palomas, and of course, Ciudad Juarez to the south of us.
And so, a lot of key Democratic constituencies, I believe, are upset by the ongoing surge of migrants that we've been seeing. And it's not something that simply Republicans are upset about. So would you say that how is your community feeling about the crisis? Are they upset?
Well, look, the situation at the border is complex and it's changing constantly. And it's important that we include, perspectives from border communities and constituents like mine. What we've seen, of course, is just an ever-changing landscape on our U.S.-Mexico border, and asylum seekers certainly right now are taking the bulk of the attention. But the border is complex in my state. International trade, our largest trading partner in Mexico, is so important to our local border economies as well. So the border is also a source of jobs and economic opportunity and economic development, as well as those binational family ties that we have shared for many, many years, for decades. Even pre-statehood in New Mexico. And so I think that folks certainly are frustrated with the lack of action that that the administration has not taken. And I think that they could have been doing more earlier to help address the flow of asylum seekers. But also that's why I presented a package of bills that has really helped to propose some solutions to different challenges that we face here at the border and with immigration. And so as I tour border communities and I listen to CBP and I listen to nonprofits and I listen to even the stories of migrants that are in these shelters, I've introduced a series of bills to help address these concerns from folks in our border communities.
Since we last spoke, I know you've put forward a slate of bills. So can you detail the new legislation you've put forward? And has anything advanced in the few months since you proposed it? And I'm also curious about bipartisan support, if any.
Of course. Well, we have several of our bills that have now been referred to committee. The package of bills that I introduced include the Strengthening Our Workforce Act. That helps to match migrants with the workforce needs in our communities in critical industries like education and healthcare and infrastructure development. We're also addressing the human trafficking that is happening at the border and the criminal elements that are driving a lot of the asylum seekers to our borders in the first place, and that is the Stop Coyotes Act. These are folks who are in organized crime rings that are essentially charging people to transport them from either the Mexican border to the United States, and they're recruiting American citizens, teenagers, folks that are in my district. And so the Stop Coyotes Act really helps to make sure that we are accountable on our own side of the border to stopping human trafficking. The Smart Border Protection Act helps to make sure that we have fentanyl detection systems and other drug detection systems at places like the Santa Teresa Port of Entry that are a game changer for us. We are now detecting over 70% of all illicit drugs that are coming through our ports of entry, thanks to this new technology. And my bill would help to make sure this technology and the agents to operate it are available across all of our land ports of entry. Two other bills that are incredibly important deal with farm workers. One is to make sure that we have the farm workers that we need. In my district, the chili, the cotton, the onion industry is incredibly powerful. However, we don't have the workers currently to be able to power some of our small and medium-sized farms. And so my bill seeks to address that crisis, going back again to the history of the Bracero program. And then lastly, the Humane Accountability Act. We have private prisons that are operating detention centers in my district and across New Mexico that need to be held accountable to make sure that folks that are in the detention system are treated fairly, humanely, and that especially applies to the women and children who are here today. So those are the series of bills that I've introduced. I think several of them are bipartisan proposals that have been supported by Republicans in the House. And those are bills that if they were put on the House floor today, they would pass. If only we would look at this as an immediate problem that could be solved by Congress with us working together rather than a political opportunity for either party, then we could actually get something done on the border, and that's what I'm trying to do.